Yes, guys. Held it in. I held it in. Sorry, guys. I had to sneeze. Welcome back to another episode of the Bootcast podcast. As always, I am your host, Justin, with my fellow co-hosts, Matt and Colby. Colby, we're going to ask you today, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Today's Mother's Day. We had a long tournament weekend, actually, for my oldest son.
Yeah.
Played 3 games. He played 3 games yesterday.
Okay.
And played 1 today. So we lost the tournament within like 2 games because like they do it on this weird system where it's like there's so many points for a clean sheet. There's so many points for how many goals you score. There's so many so one team won in the first 2 games, and then the rest of the tournament was just like, why are we here?
Participation's like our blue little participation word.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well they had fun though, right? That's what matters.
Right. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It's about the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for
good.
sure.
Good. Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Exhausted, but I'm good. I have officially moved into my new place. Still need to unpack a few things, but everything is in the house, which is important.
Yeah, I'm looking at your background. You got I think a desk back there or some kind of.
Well, this is the bunnies' hutch, so you may see them occasionally pop up.
Very cool.
But then nice brick wall. I gotta hang some stuff up, but
yeah,
we're looking good.
How close is the light switch to you for that light that's like above your head behind you? Is it like right?
This?
Yeah. How close is the light switch for that?
It's on this back wall.
Oh, I was hoping that you could like turn it on and have a good idea.
Yeah,
just like ding.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh snap, or like a really holy moment. And you're like, oh
yeah, and like I have it next to me, just like dunk.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd
you
be
guys
funny.
had a great idea, and that's what you hit it. No, that's great. Yeah, it's Mother's Day. We're recording a day early. I have like a lot of games this week, so our schedule's a little off. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, boys. Where do I want to start? Okay, so we talked about the F50s last week, right? That's kind of the major news. Now, one of our good friends and subscribers, Impact.home, whatever, he sent us some photos, and Colby, you'll throw them up on screen, I know you will, of like the literal, here, I'm going to grab the alphas, but like here on the leather F50s, just like it was like feed me, like Colby's Tiempo Legend Force back there is like feed me,
dude.
right? It's crazy. Okay, so he said I asked him in the messages, we were kind of messaging back and forth. He said he wore them for 1 training, 1 game. He said he didn't get stepped on, and all I have to say is absolutely unacceptable. If that's the durability that we're dealing with and the price tag, because those are what, $290 American?
280
somewhere up there,
280 something like that. Yeah,
that's crazy. What are you guys thinking with this?
I believe it, man. Same thing happened with my Dave Beckham's last year.
Yeah, Matt
that much
with
wear.
The Roteros and the Becks.
Yep. I mean, I'm hoping it's like a one-off. Like we always see Adidas boots, like with the Predator release, with the cracked sole plates being like a few of them. I hope it's not every single one. The durability is just crap, but I would not be surprised if that's how this was.
Okay. Yeah, I messaged him, and I kind of, that's what I said to him too. I was like, dude, you might just have like a defect. Like it happens, right? We've had defect players. But he said it was super weird. He was showing me the messages, and he like emailed Adidas, and instead of them being like, oh, hey, it's a manufacturer's defect, like send it back or whatever, they kind of like gave him this weird, like, it's not our fault that they did that, but it's not your fault either. So you have to do these steps, and then we'll still refund you your money. It's like they didn't. It's not that they didn't want to take accountability, but it's that they didn't want it to be known that it was them. They were just like, oh, it's just a bad, like almost like, oh, it's a bad boot.
Yeah, it was almost like so early. They're like, all right, we gotta like PR the heck out of this particular
Just very weird wording.
Yeah,
like how he said it was just like, oh, that's odd. But at least Adidas, like I give them their credit, like they were like, yeah, that's clearly like not supposed to happen. Please send them back, and we'll get you sorted out. So that was cool. But it's just crazy that something like that happens,
I just think it's like limited quality. You know what I mean? When you have such a limited product, or it's just like a, very niche thing. Like, so for instance, the Rotero and the Beckhams, right? Like they probably quality tested so many Pred 24s prior to when they did the actual production, and we still had some cracked sole plates. And so for these, it's like if the boot isn't made to have like a leather on a control frame 2.0, or in this case on the F50 sole plate, then like it's so, I feel like it's impossible, like at that scale, to make sure that things like that aren't going to happen when you push them out. And then it's like, well, that's only for a limited run, so kind of what do we care? Like, we're going to go back to doing normal, like, regular F50s after this.
It's just crazy though to me, because I'm like, oh, it's a limited number, so you think that they would be like, there's enough of us to get through. You know what I mean? It's not like a printing press with like, you know, normal colorways where it's just an assembly line. You know, I don't even think a person touches it. It's all machines. Like, these are probably made by people. So you just think that like the quality, care, and like the attention to detail would be there even more so. But
yeah.
I
want to know with these, speaking of, while we're on the topic, warranties, right? So many people play on AG now, and people bring their FG to their AG. Are we really at a point where Nike, Adidas, Puma are they declining warranties if they can tell specifically that you played on turf now? Because we're playing more on turf, like my group of friends is, and I'm using FG boots most of the time. So is my warranty not going to be covered for these brands? I know that's a warning that they always put out there, but are they slowly going to change their minds on this?
I wonder if it's like a more like European, like strict thing. Because I feel like, I mean, I've pretty much played on AG my whole life, and I've never once been like turned down for like especially like a split sole plate warranty claim. Like, every time that happens, they're like, yeah, cool, we'll give you a refund. But I feel like maybe in like Europe, where it's more readily available to have an AG plate and an SG plate and an FG plate, like, I feel like they might be more strict to be like, hey, you know, this was not worn on the correct pitch, not our fault. Just because like there is the availability in the United States. I mean, it's gotten a lot better, but you know, 2-3 years ago, it was almost impossible to get a pair of AG boots here, which is wild.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since that's like the primary. And I wonder too, well, like, I know for a fact that it was told to me that you remember when like Puma kind of went through that phase where they were like labeling everything FG?
Oh,
AG?
yeah.
That was literally the Puma team being like, hey, like, just getting so many warranties that they were just like, dude, just put it as both. And it basically was like, you know, in a way, like covering the consumer. Because they, you know, you kind of be like, oh, we have to deny it. And then people throw a fit, post things online, and then they have to give okay, just send it in, we'll get it. So they just started doing that just to help kind of cover their own assets. That's a great shout,
actually. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
That's why even though it was like crazy bladed studs, they were like, it's AG. Cool, just send it in.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, crazy stuff. I want to keep moving forward a little bit. Now, we haven't seen too many leaks coming through that are really something we haven't talked about a lot, right? But a quick one that's kind of caught, I think, all three of our eyes in different ways has been this like upcoming Mizuno pack. And it's like fire, like cherry red, like red, right? Like a real red. Now,
Passion red.
Is it passion red? Is that what
I think it's actually passion red.
Okay,
it's back. Yeah.
So I love them, and I'm on Alpha Watch right now, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm getting a pair of those red Alphas, like super hyped. Love that boot. Matt, you on the other hand have been eyeing a different one of those boots in the pack. Now, please tell people what you're eyeing and why.
I am eyeing the Melia Neo 4 Beta. I know I just bought 2 pairs of these, but this one specifically is the AG variation. We have not yet seen an AG variation of the Melia Neos. This one looks like it's the same AG plate they've been using on the Alpha, just with an external heel counter. Okay. Which I think is going to look so good.
Okay.
So I'm curious. It's going to come down to how they fit, honestly. If they fit exactly the same as the standard Neo, I probably will pass just because I enjoy the Neo Limited so much more with like the slightly tweaked fit. But if they fit a little bit different, closer to what those limited Neos feel like, I might have to get a pair of these, to be honest.
Okay. Now, this is what makes me wonder if the whole, what is it, the Melia Proto? Like, that's the proto part, is putting that sole plate on a different boot.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows? Colby, out of any of those, all right, Colby's going to be a pass.
But I will say,
hard pass from Colby yet again.
For Matt, like, in Matt's perspective on this AG, I think, Matt, now that you've dipped your toe into these like Alpha 2 sole plate territory, I think everything else is just gonna not live up to that sole plate.
I don't think you're wrong, to be completely honest, which is why I'm hesitant, but I also love Passion Red so much.
Dude,
it's my favorite Mizuno colorway, and I'm like, of course they come out with it.
It's like a chrome red. That's what's so cool about it.
It's so cool.
I think Matt just keeps getting trolled, specifically by Mizuno. They're like, "Oh, Matt, hey, here's these silver."
I was like, "Oh yeah, we saw you just you bought these silver ones. Let's come out with the alpha plate that we know that you've been asking for." It's like, "Oh, you just bought the alpha plate? Let's come out with Passion Red now." I'm like, motherfucker.
No, the best way is if they come out with a Passion Red alpha plate. Just to really just jab the knife in.
I wouldn't even hesitate to buy those. Like, that would be an instant buy. Yeah. I already said to some of my friends that have asked about the Melia Neo Limiteds, they're like, "So how much you like them?" I'm like, if they make another one, I'm buying it on the spot.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you buy another black one, like just to have a second pair?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not that I don't like the black, like it's great, but it's just like to have two all blacked out. I don't know.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I would talk you out of that. Matt.
I feel like I would just wait for the next colorway, honestly,
That's fair.
because they're gonna do it again. Just
You
might
think?
be like 2 years. It might be 2 years, but
There'll be the Alpha
2 years.
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then another part, while we're on the topic of Mizuno, we have heard that there's like a new Morelia coming out, right? Is it a Morelia 3? Do we know?
Yeah. What's this Mizuno event that's happening soon?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like an actual Morelia 3. It might just be an updated 2.
Right.
I don't know. That's from my talks with Andrew. He's not sure if it's going to be like a complete like overhaul to like a
Like a
new
2.5?
Yes, maybe
Well,
something like that.
Didn't they
Okay.
change the 2 in like 2020 or something? And then that's when they did the cross stitch like M8 pattern. Like they changed. Okay, so I think they changed like I've got to go back and look at this, but the heel or something to make it a bit more the lockdown better, the heel slippage better, and then they did something with the fit, and then they did the cross stitch. But they didn't call it a Morelia 3 then.
Yeah, and I think when the 2 came out, it had the fold over tongue, and then the next one that came, like they did the short tongue, and then that's just been the standard. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I know even like the Copa Mundial, like from its start until now, it's had like 6 changes in its entire life, and it like one of them was like an extra lace hole. Another one was like I think they added an extra stud, so like very minimal, like the most minimal changes.
Yeah.
Do you guys think if they made the DNA, like say they put the Neo bottom on top of the Morelia 2 permanently, would people get mad? Would people get upset that they took that classic version away? Or people be like, "Oh yeah, this is what we've been wanting forever"?
I think they'd get mad.
I don't think they get mad. I don't
You don't
think
think
so.
so?
No.
Like
And they just gave us a DNA at retail.
Like if the
Like-
DNA, let's say like the Morelia 3 is the DNA, right? That's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Yes,
Okay,
Justin.
okay.
So do you guys remember? So like for instance, Copa Mundial in 2020, they made the Eternal pack where they made
Eternal
the Copa Mundial
class.
more modern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they put it on like the Copa
Sense.
20. Yeah, soul plate. If they had kept that forever, I think they would have pissed a lot of like
Yes.
old school Copa Mundial fans off. And I think that's where Justin's thinking is at.
Yeah. Okay. I get
Well,
that
and not only that,
perspective.
but like even some people who like I know people who are about the DNA and they're like, this is the coolest boot ever, but they're like, it doesn't fit right anymore. Like the sole plate changes up the fit of the boot. So I think like Colby, I wonder if you got those, if all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, these aren't like my comfy go-tos anymore. Like it's too much. It's too aggressive.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think what would change that is instead of putting the Neo plate on it, throw the Wave Cup SS plate.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were going to say alpha. Damn.
No, I mean that's I mean
the most aggressive.
The oldest boot with the most aggressive plate is like the
Yeah.
true DNA.
Just try to stop your foot. Just keeps going.
Yeah, that the Wave Cup SS plate would be sick. That'd be a cool one.
I think that'd be a cool switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Do it.
What else would I like? I think some of the Rebula. I think it's like the Rebula Cup sole plate would work pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
was wide enough and round studded enough to. That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Love
see. we'll see. I'm excited to kind of keep up with Andrew and figure out what's going on with that boot.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're going to get into, we've all kind of had some recent purchases, and I want to get some updates from everybody on a couple boots, okay? And I'm sure y'all want updates from me. Not that anybody really cares. But before we get to that, our subject of the day is the new Phantom 360.
360.
Okay? We have seen all over Instagram, there's like leaked videos and photos of like, I'm going to pull them out. There's like a low cut, right? And it kind of looks like the GX1, but it's one piece now, right? So like some of the best of this mixed with this, right? And then we've seen it's got an updated Phantom 360. So Colby's going to throw the pictures. Or right. I'm sorry, what is this called? Cyclone 360.
Cyclone 360.
Okay?
Yep.
So it's like this part is still blades, and then it's like 2 conical studs, and then I think these are all conical studs. Am I right?
I think the bottoms are still blades,
so
but those
round,
above the bottoms are
and
conical.
Blades?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
and then this is different. Right. I know it's like stiffened differently, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we thinking? I want to hear some honest thoughts, because we've kind of mentioned it's coming, but like now that we're like seeing more. And also like weird backward swoosh here. It has like a fucking Phantom Venom. Like it's not even like a grip element. It's just like painted stripes. They're like, you should hit the ball here, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a heat spot kind of.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So what are we thinking with this? Because I think the design looks cool, and I'm super, super hyped for it, but it looks very busy. Like a very busy boot. And that's me talking about this.
Yeah. Dude, it's very Phantom Vision to me. Where I think it looks better than the Phantom Vision, because that thing would look like a American football cleat. When that first came out, I was like, ugh, this thing is ugly. But I think it's almost like we've been moving towards this. And so it's not a total shock for us to see a boot like this. I'm hoping that the sole plate is more stiff than the regular whatever it's called, Cyclone 360. Because I don't even think that, I know that the actual 360 threw a lot of people off, and everyone's like, I'm not even touching that. I'm getting the AG version. This I'm actually more willing to wear. I mean, I guess that's how easy it is. Just make 4 conical studs and I'll put the boot on. But honestly, like, I'm just hoping it's more stiff.
Okay, so that's all you really give a hoot about. And then I know like high cut boots aren't your thing, but like with the ghost laces kind of cover versus like the low cut. What do you guys? I want to hear what you think first, Colby. Like, are you gonna go low cut all the way?
Low cut. That GX1 low cut was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the DFs I heard were very hard to get on, even harder to get off.
Oh, yeah. Gave me anxiety, and I don't even struggle with anxiety. All right, Matt, what are you thinking? Because you've also been kind of on the fence with the Phantom lines. So what are your thoughts with this?
The thoughts specifically around the sole plates to start, it's getting better. So I'm not going to complain before I have a chance to see it or see how it feels. But they're adding conical studs, which I'm all for.
Okay.
Design-wise, I do agree. I think it's busy. I always hate when like Nike decides to add 2 Nike logos in the same like view of the boot, like on like the medial side. If you just have it sitting there, if you could see 2 Nike logos, it's like, all right, like we get it. It's a Nike boot. You don't have to show us twice. So that's a little iffy, but I do think like the general concept is cool. It's like modern. I feel like everything we've seen has been very kind of simple recently. So I do appreciate them kind of like going for it and like trying to give us something crazy and different. I'm sticking with low cut though. The ghost laces, I understand why people love them, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. I think I'm like in 100% agreement, which is very rare for this podcast. But I think the low cut's the way for me too. Cause like as somebody who's done both the high cut and the low cut, I definitely think that the high cut overall actually does feel a little bit better and more form fitting. But the ghost lace is like the biggest pain in the ass to get. And then the way that this DF collar is like, and the whole boot construction, like, again, like I said a minute ago, it gave me like a mild panic attack, and I like don't struggle with those things. Like I was just, oh my God, I can't get this boot off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like a freak out moment.
I think it was just because it fit so well. Like I
Yeah.
remember, I never like I had a pair of the GX1s,
Okay.
but I didn't have a pair of the high top ones. But I did try them on in store, and like it was probably the best fitting and feeling high top boot I've ever tried on, because it
Okay.
did give you that full seamless sensation. Like
Yeah.
I didn't really tell where the boot started and ended, but yeah, it was the biggest pain in the ass to get on, even bigger pain in the ass to get off. And the ghost laces, like I don't know, you can still see your laces underneath the ghost laces, like it's still popping
Yeah,
through.
so, like, bulges.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you guys remember when Adidas, when the Ghosted was out, the X Ghosted Plus, and they gave you like those shoe inserts, and it was like to show off like the vacuum fit. It was like really hard to get those in and out, but it like showed how much the boot suction. That was this for me. Like I've never put my foot in a boot, and it's just like I felt like Spider-Man's suit. It was just like, and I was like, oh my gosh. But like like we keep coming back to like getting them off. Oh god, that was horrible.
Yeah, it is interesting how I think that's been that trend went on for a little while, right? Like, because I mean, even with Tiempo boots, right? The 8 was supposed to get your boot in there, get in the quad fit, and then get it locked in. Same with like the 7 was really to get it locked in. And I think we went away from that. It was like we kind of peaked, and now we're kind of back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely feels like that same thing like we've talked with Adidas, where I have the theory, of like the two teams. It kind of seems like Nike has that a little bit. Like the GX1 was a team, and then the Luna/GX2 was a different team, and now we're back to GX1 with the Phantom 360s. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. The leaked images, again, not my favorite colorway, but like I'm going to be honest right now. This is day one boot. So whichever one I can get, high cut, low cut, is day one.
I think it looks better than the mermaid colorway, the GX2 like ugly ass first colorway they put out for that one, the launch.
Yeah. The Miami Vice looking one, or the Miami Cruising USA.
It was so ugly.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Okay, good talks. Now I want to get into some updates. Colby, we're going to start with you today, since you didn't buy too much. But what are we rocking? What are we wearing? How are the copas going?
Back, baby. Back.
It's returned from the dead.
Yeah, so we've been playing on turf a lot lately, so I decided to give these another try. Dude, the lockdown and these. Speaking of lockdown, phenomenal. Like you are so locked into this boot, and it's teetering on that line of it's hard to get off, but as long as I'm not wearing like my Apex socks, it's pretty easy. I'll still wear grip socks, but the insole, dude, because these aren't for resale, they came with like this really crappy sample insole, and so what I did was I didn't even get anything fancy. I didn't get like a Victory or a TLSS or anything. I just got this Nike Pro. So much better. Okay. And I'm thinking because New Balance has the fuel cell technology that they put into the Plus models when they kind of revamped the Tequila and the Furon, that's probably what will be in these at launch, and so it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you wear the Copas at all? You wearing the Morelias? Like, did you feel the need to switch, or was it just like, I'm sticking with the Tequila today?
I'm sticking with the Tequila for sure.
Okay. And how many goals did you score?
5.
Less.
It was dude. I went off today. It was awesome. But I was also
it was the lockdown, Matt.
I think it was because I was also just sitting in the car and driving my son from like tournament game to tournament. You know what I mean? I was just sitting on my butt for essentially the other part of the weekend. So it was right when I had the chance to go out and run and do things, it was, I hadn't been doing anything. So.
Nice. Okay, good. So we're back on Tequila V5 watch.
Tequila hype is back, baby.
Let's go.
It's back.
And if you've made it this far in the podcast, I've heard a rumor that the V5 should come out before the start of next season. So that is what I have.
So within 3-4 months.
Yeah, literally like 80-something days.
Yeah. So with that said, this will probably be the primary competitor to the Phantom 360 that we just talked about, right?
Okay.
Because Future 8 is off a cliff. And
That's
Predator,
true.
I feel like, is almost in its own different
It's
category.
It's like different, like,
The FT has taken it to its own plane of existence.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Matt, what are you rocking? What are you wearing? And I've got some questions about some boots that I thought about today.
Okay. I am still wearing the Melia Neo Limiteds. That is still my go-to boot, and it probably will be for a while. Honestly, it might get a little boring because I might just be wearing this boot
Okay.
Forever.
for a very long time.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
be your Rotero.
It might be. I honestly might be.
There we go. I love to hear that. And a boot I wanted to ask you about that you had mentioned earlier a couple episodes ago in the pod, and then I either I'm a bozo and forgot, or we just never talked about it again. You got a pair of Asics or Asics, wherever you live, X-Fly Pro 3s, that white and blue colorway.
Yep.
And then I never heard about them ever again. I don't even know if you made content on them. I got to get some updates. What happened?
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with these boots, but I just kind of fell into the I don't know, like I tried boots that I just preferred, but I wouldn't say it had anything to do with like the performance of the Pro 3.
Okay.
I got in the Melia Neo train again, and that's what happened, honestly.
Okay.
But those boots are fantastic. They run a little bit wider. And for me, I think preference-wise, they're slightly more padded than I would usually go for, specifically midfoot and heel. And I think it ended up being the same, I wouldn't say issues, but same just like preference, things I ran into with the TLS S boots, the Tacticians, where it's just like a little bit too much padding in like the midfoot heel section for my preference. What I will say, still the most comfortable boots I think I've ever worn, minus maybe the M8s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for, a slightly wider, more comfortable boot, and you don't want leather, it's the boot to go for sure. The only issue I really had with them is my first wear. I did have a hot spot in the heel. I think I might be alone on that one. And I did find the heel studs to be slightly long for AG.
Okay.
Now, most of the time, I'm not really on my heels when I'm playing. I'm running on my toes, and especially when I'm cutting and stuff. Yeah. But when I was like breaking and slowing down, and you do notice they're a little bit longer than you probably would comfortably need on AG.
Okay.
So other than those small issues, I really liked them. It gives a very natural feel on the ball, which I enjoyed.
Okay.
It just kind of came down to like other new boots I preferred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got in the way.
So it's kind of like a steady Eddie boot for you in a way.
Yeah.
But
right.
it's like one of those, like, it's a good, healthy relationship, but you wanted to go back to your ex, and you got back with the ex.
Yeah. I wanted the excitement again, and there's something new.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I think
no, go ahead. Go, Colby.
I was gonna say, Matt, that's awesome because it just shows you how much competition there is this year in terms of like what people prefer to wear. Because 2-3 months ago, that X-Fly Pro 3 was like, dude, like nothing could possibly get in its way. This is going to be boot of the year. And since then, we've had like 3 boot of the year. You know what I mean? Like myself, which I'm trying to not hype boots up as much. It was like Alpha 2 is going to be boot of the year. No, Pred 25 is going to be boot of the year. No, Tequila and X-Fly Pro 3. And now we're moving. And I'm just excited to see like what more competition we're going to have with this Phantom 360 when everybody can have a chance to get the Tequila V5s. It's just, we're already in May and it's a great year.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the X-Fly Pro 3, like subjectively, could be boot of the year. Like it is that good. It's just really a preference thing.
Okay.
And I think I was talking to Mark GCFC about it because he just got the red ones. And he was just like, not a great looking boot, but they're absolutely fantastic. And I really think that's a good summary because like aesthetically,
they're boring.
They're boring. They're not the best looking. They're boring. The colorways have been pretty boring. But they perform, and that's really kind of what it comes down to.
That's great, man. That's good to hear. And then you've got the did you manage to get rid of the silver Mizunos, or did you decide to hold on to them?
Not yet. I wanted to make, I guess this is a sneak peek, but I want to make a comparison video before I get rid of them, but I probably will be getting rid of them just to get something else because there's no reason to have 2 Melia Neos.
Oh, there is. You might have 4 or 5 soon.
I know. But just with like how much I significantly prefer the Alpha Plate, I just don't. I feel like I can't go back because it's just not as good. I don't know.
It's too. He's had it too good now. Okay.
Yeah.
Last boot I need an update on.
Okay.
They're hot and they're pink. They're pitch vipers. The brightest boots of all mankind has ever seen. What happened?
Oh man.
Because you were kind of excited, then you were kind of pissed. You made a video where you were really pissed, and then it was like true radio silence. So like, what's going on with these pitch vipers? I'll
be honest, haven't worn them since.
Damn.
Yeah, I do want to wear them. And just I'm not gonna wear them for like practices or games.
Mm-hmm,
I know that, but I do want to wear them. Once I get like my own solo training session, I have time to do that again after post move. Now, I want to get them out on the field just to see if they do break in, what that process looks like, just to provide some like feedback, because I was pretty harsh, rightfully so.
Yes.
But yeah, I actually had a teammate, which apparently he doesn't follow me, which who you are, you should follow me. He bought them
As he's
right
not
after
gonna watch this because he doesn't follow Matt.
Yeah. No, well, he's gonna follow me now because I literally he wore him to practice this past week, and I looked at him and I was just like, "Did you not watch my video I posted last week?"
He's like, "No."
And he's just like, "Nah, what are they shit?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they're
I
shit."
didn't even know you made content.
Yeah,
return them now. Don't put them on.
He's actively putting like Vaseline on his heels. I'm like, bro,
that's old school,
Matt.
Yeah.
This is the direction I thought you were going in. You were like, I'm not going to wear them for training sessions, and I'm not going to wear them for games. I'm going to wear them for blue jeans.
Oh, God.
Boots only summer.
Boots only summer.
I mean, maybe. We'll see. No, but it's kind of crazy, too, because the Shadow 2s, those, I got them from Under Armour, and I was just like, all right, I'm not going to wear these. Like the sole plate's too aggressive, whatever. So I just started like breaking them out for kickball games, like my for fun kickball games I played with my friends. And then like I started breaking them in just by wearing them for kickball. And I was like, yo, these are kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, maybe I'll give them a shot. And then I gave them a shot. I'm like, yo, I actually really like these. So I don't think that's going to happen with these pink ones. Maybe we'll see, but I might just do that. I might just start wearing them for kickball if I join the kickball league again.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
I was going to say, I do know that one of our good friends, I'm not going to say their name, but one of our good friends mentioned them in a video, like specifically the Pitch Vipers. Actually, I really like them, and I think I might like them better than the originals. And I was wow.
That's a crazy statement.
Matt's already like got the pitchfork like ready, and he's lighting the torch like as you're saying those lines.
Like, I don't know. I understand if you like only tried the Pitch Viper and you're like, yeah, I kind of like them. But if you've tried the standard Shadow 3 and the Pitch Viper, like, is no comparison.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just no comparison. And I think that's why I'm so pissed. Because I initially tried the standard and then I got these Pitch Vipers and I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that you hate him, but like, it's just crazy the difference. But like I said, anytime either one of you say I'm pissed, I always think of that skit. Like, I'm pissed, royally pissed. Okay, cool. So for me, before we get out of here, I'm gonna do like kind of quick fire watch. So Merc watch is pretty much done. Like I've got like enough hours in them. I've got enough sets of the boot. I love these, man. They are really good boots.
I knew you would, dude.
I do love
these. This is my Justin version of I told you so. I told you so. I knew it. I knew you'd love those boots.
Calm down.
Come on.
Okay.
Give me one.
And you know what? The colorway is still phenomenal. Okay. So love them. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Again, not a boot of the year. This is maybe Colby. This is kind of like my steady Eddie.
This is your couple tier 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kind of comfortably put these on.
Does it get more points since it's like Ronaldo's boot or no?
It may.
Yeah, there it is.
The bias,
a little bit of favoritism. The bias
may come in. Okay, so Merc watch is going good. Now I have to do one more session, and I think I'm going to do it tomorrow after I drop the kids off. But GX2 watch has been going on. Okay, this colorway is crazy, and I want to say I put up a poll today between these and the pearls.
Yeah,
and the like evenness so far of that is crazy to me. Like I thought like the pearl was gonna blow these out of the water, but this has got a lot of love. But all right, Colby, you want on? I told you so. These are not as bad as I thought.
I'll take it.
Take the half win. They're not as bad as
that's half.
I still think that the original Luna and the GX1 do it better, but I don't hate these. Okay, that's where we're at.
Right.
Okay.
What do you think of? Because I know that you're not like the biggest sole plate guy, but do you feel like that sole plate would it be better if it was a bit firmer? Would it be better if it was like a Control Frame 2.0 type of stiffness?
I think that would be too firm.
Okay.
I think that would be still a little too firm. Another boot, if I wanted to compare, I don't know what boot, like in recent history, I could kind of compare it to that we've all kind of worn. I think maybe if it was closer to the Copa Pure 3, or even maybe closer to this, like how stiff this is.
Yeah.
Like, this makes it soft, like what you stand. But like overall, the sole plate I think is stiff enough. I think if it was like this quality, I think I'd be okay. I think that would make it like a lot better for a lot of people. But I will say, like the off-centered lacing, I know that this is not like the best lacing. This has become my favorite. Like when it goes a little out to the outside and I have like this bigger and cleaner.
Right.
I love it. And I think it goes back to my laser days. Like my laser 4 days, laser 3 days, they all have like the crazy one. So again, I'm not fully in love, but I don't hate. This is tolerable. I would wear it. Okay?
Okay.
So
it looks a little clean to me. I'm not gonna lie.
It still is clean, but I'm playing on an AG pitch because I really wanted to do it. And the Fields pitch that we use, the AG, I don't know if it's new AG, but like it doesn't have black turf. It has like
it has like the pine.
It looks like
the wood.
It's kind of like a cork for like a wine bottle. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the new turf. It's supposed to be safer because it's supposed to feel more like natural grass because it's natural material.
Cool. Yeah.
And it doesn't get as hot.
Okay. I don't notice that part. In Texas, it still gets hot. But, like, I will say, like, I've worn these for probably a total of, like, 6 going on 7 hours. And, like, literally, that shit doesn't stick. Like, you just wipe it off. So.
Nice. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, I'm not putting, but, like, you can, like, start to see, like, like, it's starting to dinge up a little bit here and there. But I'm not wearing it, like, on muddy pitches. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I am. And then, final boot, the one I spent the most hours in, the watch that everybody has asked about in the comments and in my DMs, Alpha Watch. This is the boot of the year.
Wow.
This is boot of the year. Oh,
wow.
Hey, wait, that is so funny.
How funny is this? Who was saying this was going to be boot of the year?
Wow.
Yeah.
What, like a month ago? 2 months maybe?
So much.
A week later.
Wow.
Who got so much shit?
Okay, but here's
so
the
much
thing.
shit for this.
So much
Colby,
shit.
It's, what month is it? May? How many boots of the year have you had this year? How many boots of the year? Have you had one? You had
probably
more
like
than one?
3.
Okay, 3. Matt, how many boots of the year have you had?
3.
Exactly. I don't want to hear shit from either of you.
Yeah.
This is.
I literally went.
I'm one and
off
done.
Of one
I'm
and
a
onto
one
one
pump chump.
That's so funny.
One boot of the year. I'm calling it now. Alpha 2. Maybe not this colorway, but I do like this colorway. Boot of the year. This shit's fantastic.
Devil's advocate. Devil's advocate. What happens if a leather Pred 25 comes out?
I don't know. I got to try a leather 25.
He's backtracking already.
This might still be boot of the year. This is so good. This is so good.
You're only allowed 2 backtracks because that's how many we had.
Yeah, until next month when you both have more. I'm just saying, like, if you gave me my Rotero and you gave me this, I might put a gun to my head and just not pick. It's like picking between my children. Like, this is that good.
They're so different, though.
I know. That's what makes it, like, so fantastic.
Oh, man. Interesting.
This isn't even a question about the Alpha 2s because I know how good the Alpha 2s are. This is a question about boot of the year. Are we allowed this year to give a remake boot of the year?
No.
If HV1 comes out, or like say those F50 2020 remakes were good, are remakes in contention?
Ooh. Well,
go ahead.
Should we just do, because I know last year that was the first video I was on, the boot of the years.
Oh wow.
We did, it was crazy. We did like top 5, right? That's what it was, top 5, and then top 10 colorways. What if we do like top categories? So like number 1 speed boot, and then so we do that to start. Number 1 speed boot, control, whatever, leather,
right?
and then we do our top 3 boot of the year, like overall.
Okay.
So we could do top remake in that other category.
Yeah, we can make a remake category. We can make I think that would be the most fair.
I also think with remakes, for me, it depends on how different it is compared to the original for me to give it like I think from what I've seen on the Hypervenom might be different enough to where I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's like a fair shot. But like the Absolutes or the Mania, I don't really know if I'd count those just because like they were
we've seen them before. They're like new colorways. Yeah,
and it's just like that was like. And it's an all-timer boot from 2002, and you just made a modern sole plate. So, like, of course, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's like giving the I don't know, giving the best player the best boots. Like, it's just like, that's kind of a given.
Yeah. I feel like remake of it has to be one that was, like, the first time you've seen it remade that year.
Like,
so,
give the leather
we know the
F50.
Hypervenom, the leather F50. Yeah, like, those are the 2 I'm thinking of right now.
Okay.
And if they do a new pred, like, if they did a power swerve or something like that, I might be so inclined. But if we get like another Mania or like the Merc ones again, I'll be like,
or I think they had like some Zidane Precision one, but we've had Precisions.
We've had Precisions, yeah,
exactly. But see, like on the caveat, like we've had leather Precisions. If those synthetic Beckham ones were the ones that came out, you know, those never existed, I would put those in contention just because it's something new. Okay. Yeah, so I'd be like, oh, we've never seen a synthetic one. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But yes, I'm calling it now. Boot of the year. So this podcast exclusive first before I make my official video.
Yeah, you make me want to try a size 8.
I think, dude. I think with that little bit of room, I think it would. You'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm back on the alpha.
So it might get to the point where I get these red alphas with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it.
But if the Melia Neos, if that AG plate fits the same as the standard, I might go alpha instead.
And worst case too, like when I get the red alphas, I can either send you them or send you these, just so you can try on an 8 and see what you feel like before you pull the trigger. And Colby, unfortunately, you are on your own.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because you have big clown feet.
I'm not big clown. 9.5 is like average US.
Since when is 9.5 average?
I don't know, dude. There's a lot. Before I entered this boot community, I had no idea how many guys wore a US 8. Like it's mind blowing how many guys wear a US 8.
I think a men's 8 to
there's a lot of 9s.
Like 10. I think it's like the most common size in the world.
Yeah.
Like that area.
The overall sample size for shoes worldwide is a size 9 US.
Okay.
It's every like prototype is a 9, like for internal purposes within the company. They're all 9s. That's why like if you're a size 9, you're essentially the company tester.
Yeah.
Well, we're all screwed.
Close enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for today. Matt, do me a favor and tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Burns Boots on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Colby?
You guys can find me at Kicking It with Kolbs on Instagram and on YouTube.
Yeah, the name is Colby and Kicking It with Kolbs. Only the real ones know. Only the real ones know.
Yeah, only the real ones.
You can find me at Texas Cleat Collector on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us at BootcastPod on Instagram. And go in the comments and let us know what is your boot of the year so far. And will it change? It probably will. And while you're down there, hit comment, hit like, hit subscribe. And as always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, click down here to see more. Peace.
Bye, guys.